I saw this super chat come in from a new member, and it's related to this, and it kind of made me giggle. So I want to read this real quick. William Blanken, $5. Thank you so much. Said, if your partner thinks they're going to hell, Autumn, just let them know that they'll be able to share their time in eternal damnation with you by their side.
Hello, I'm all right. I hope my thing's relatively self-explanatory. I'm an atheist. I've always been an atheist. My partner grew up Catholic, but currently kind of follows the theistic evolution model of, oh, God set everything in motion. But anyway, to get to the point, something that I often find she has trouble with is this, like, she'll panic over, oh, I'm going to go to hell. It's super concerning, and I don't want to necessarily, deconvert her. That's not my job. That's not my point, and that's sure. A lot of effort anyways, But, like, what can be done to, kind of help qualm this fear of hell? Because it's something that I see hurt them, and seeing it hurt them, that isn't part of my job as a partner, is to, like, help through stuff like this. And it sucks to see them hurt so much,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think you really laid out, again, just kind of, we had a caller earlier saying about, like, why do all this shit and whatnot. And I think you laid out exactly why, like, yeah, we see people that we really, really give a shit about that are hurting because of these things. And we don't want them to hurt. And even worse so, like, than just the fact that they're hurting, right? Like, they're hurting for something that, we believe is not true, So, like, let's dissuade them of that, right?
They are hurting for something that you believe is not true. I don't believe hell is real. Hey, come on. These people are nutcakes. We don't believe that. Well, you know who believes? The demons believe. And they tremble in fear. Even Satan himself. But here you are, puffing yourself up. Well, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And that's enough for me to base my eternity on. I would just say I don't believe that. And when I die, well, I didn't believe, so whatever. I don't believe. That's enough. You never had an encounter with a demon. You don't believe. And that's enough. Even the demons believe. And they don't just believe, they know. Hey, they were in the presence of the Most High God. I've asked this question before, and I will continue to ask this question. Do you believe that human beings are any match for Satan? Human beings that have nothing to do with the Holy Spirit, that don't want to have anything to do with God. What match are you for Satan? Do you know that there is a battle on for your soul, and that Satan is the mastermind with all his troops and legions? You don't have to believe that. They don't care. You think they care? You think they care if you believe? Better yet, if you don't believe. It's easier. But when you know that the spiritual realm is an active place, more active than this physical realm, when you know that, you don't have time to say, well, I don't believe. I don't believe that. Could you imagine? you are basing your eternity on, I don't believe, on your belief. Oh God, it's so painful when you hear people say these things. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. As though whether or not you believe changes anything. You think the demons that are assigned to your soul care whether or not you believe? You think the pits of hell care whether or not you believe? You think Satan cares whether or not you believe? What does what you believe have to do with anything? What does you not believing in the spiritual realm and in hell and in God and in the devil and in the judgment of, what does you not believing in any of these things have to do with anything? Suddenly they're going to just disintegrate because you don't believe? You think that you believe these things into existence and that if you don't believe for some reason that you suppress their existence? Who deceived you? Who deceived you? To the point where you think it has to do with what you believe. Do you know how sad the day of death is to people who go to the grave with the mentality, I don't believe that? Oh, when they see, as they begin to slip out of this case of flesh, this housing, as they begin to slip out of this and they start to realize what is over there, and they start to see what is over there, they don't have to believe anymore. Now they're seeing it for themselves. They're seeing it for themselves. They don't have to believe. For some reason, you thought that the lake of fire has anything to do with what you believe. Oh my God. Who deceived you?
Sometimes it's not even directly connected to an action. It's just this sudden, like, fear she'll have, like, what in the immediate, to get them to, like, hey, it's okay, calm down, like, even if this is real, this is so far in the future, this isn't something you need to be so concerned with, but they'll just have this panicking, like, God, I'm going to go to hell. I'm such an awful person. You're going to go to hell. You're an atheist. I can't let you go to hell. And it's this, like, just spiral. And oftentimes it doesn't seem, and they won't, or they'll just not tell me that it's connected to something they did that makes them feel like such an awful person. They
Right.
panic.
Even if hell is real, it's far in the future. You don't have to worry about that. How far in the future is it? How far in the future is it? If you have 2 more days to live, it can't be that far in the future. If you have 1 more hour to live and you don't want anything to do with the blood of Jesus Christ, you don't want anything to do with Jesus Christ, you don't want anything to do with him because, hey, maybe you had a bad experience in a church. Whatever is the reason, hey, the devil, he doesn't run out of reasons to give you. There's no lack, there's no shortage. Whatever it takes to get your soul, done. Bad church experience, done. False pastor, done. Whatever it takes to get your soul up, well, down there, not up in here, down there. Whatever it takes. So if you have 1 more hour to live, how far in the future is this hell that you think is so far away that you could just enjoy your lascivious life or whatever life you want to live right now? Because hell, hey, even if that is real, It's far into the future. But as far as it is into the future, or you think it is, and how far you think it is, eternity. How how long is eternity? How long is eternity? Let's say you have 50 more years on the earth. Let's say 50 years for argument's sake, right? How long do you think eternity is? 50 years? Huh? How long is eternity? People think that this people think that this is a joke, that this is optional, that you're filling out a form and you can just put a little tick next to what you want. I don't want this, I don't want that. Hell is optional. I don't believe that, so I don't, we take that off. We don't want that. X that off. It's far into the future, man. So don't worry about it. It's far away. Don't worry about it. Father of lies. Father of lies. Mm. How many people thought that hell was far away, not realizing that their lives were required of them? Look at the rich man who thought, oh, I build all these things and I have all this. Everything is set up for me to have a good life, not knowing that that very night, his soul was required of him. His soul was required of him. So how far into the future is hell? How far? How far?
Yeah, that's one of the things that I hear a lot is that Pete, that this fear of hell. It seems like it's one of the hardest things for theists who have given up their religion to get a hold of. I mean, we've heard probably dozens of calls here to this show and the other ACA shows with people who still fear hell and they can't get rid of it, and it is a real problem. And that is not something that my solution is going to help, because hell is intrinsically wrapped up within the religion. However, you can talk about the fear itself and maybe try to get them to understand that they don't need to be so fearful of it, or try to get them to not be so fearful of it. Be there for them. Be there to be to bolster their emotions. And I think that's probably about the best you can do. And even if your partner does come out of religion, this hell thing might be something you're going to have to deal with for a long time. So be prepared for that, because it does seem to be a big problem with a lot of people who deconvert. So
yeah.
But you just have to show compassion and pull them through it.
Hey, they don't need to be so fearful of it. It's nothing to fear. They don't need to be so fearful of it. So tell us, how fearful do they need to be? How fearful do they need to be? You said they don't need to be so fearful of it. How fearful do they need to be? How fearful do they need to be? Tell them how fearful they need to be if they don't need to be so fearful. Don't need to be so fearful. Oh Lord, my God. Show them, show them, show them, show them, Lord. Show them, Lord. Show them, Lord. Show them, Lord. They don't need to be so fearful of it. Tell them they don't need to be so fearful. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's really not. It's really not that bad. be so afraid of hell. In fact, we'll help you to just forget about all these things, It's not even true. Don't you believe in that? It's just a fair tactic, They just want to control people's lives with this hell and hell. What kind of God would make a horrible place called hell and send people there forever for a temporary sinful life on this earth? Come on, that can't be real. Come on. And you listen to the demons and the devils that know exactly what to say to have your soul in the bag. Get that soul in the bag. Get that soul in the bag. Yeah, we know what to tell this one. We know exactly what to tell this one. Listen, there can't be a place called hell. There can't be. Come on. Do you really believe? Look how many religions have hell. What makes Christianity the real hell? Come on. You must know by now that it's just a fair tactic. It can't be real. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. It's no place called hell. And souls are falling by the truckload into hell, screaming and bawling and wailing and gnashing their teeth because they listen to that lie. Place called hell. Don't be so fearful. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Yeah. Lies. I always ask God, you know what, Lord, if you ever let me see hell, I want to see where people who die saying there is no God. I want to see where they go, what happens. Not so that I could laugh at these people because, oh my God, there is no laughter in that. There is no laughter in that. But I could say to these people, listen, I've seen it. I've seen it. I saw where you guys go. I want to see where they go, Lord. Show me what they experience. I don't want to stay there too long. I don't want to stay there too long. Show me what they experience, Lord, when they die, being part of that LGBTQWXYZ. What happens next? Because they just couldn't turn away and say, I'm going to crucify this flesh. And Lord, you're going to help me because I know you're real. And I don't want to be separated from you for eternity. I'm going to crucify this flesh, Lord. They didn't want to say that because someone whispered in their ears that love is love and you can love whoever you want. And who wants to serve a God that tells people not to love who they want to love? Don't serve that God. He doesn't love you. How could he tell you don't love people? Love is love. And the souls pouring into hell like water, pouring into hell. Can't change your mind when you reach there. Cannot change your mind when you reach there. Cannot change your mind when you reach there. Now is the time. Ask God to give you a heart of humility. Ask God to do what it takes. He said if your right hand or if your If your eye, whatever part of your body causes you to sin, cut it off. It's just for emphasis. That just goes to show you, listen, it is better to enter into heaven maimed than to go into hell with your whole body intact. That's to show you how horrendous that place is. It's like, listen, even if a body part of yours causes you to sin, better you chop that body part off than to go to hell with it. Better you chop it off. That it just goes to show you, because we won't do our bodies harm, right? But it just goes to show you the emphasis. It doesn't mean to literally cut your body part off, but it's just for the emphasis to show you, listen, that place is so horrible that even if your own body is causing you to sin, you're better off without that body part that is causing you to sin than to go there. It's just to show you how horrendous it is. Horrendous. You better cut that body part off. You're better off without it, living maimed, than to live with it and go to hell if it's causing you to sin. Sin separates us from God. Jesus Christ came, he died, he took that sin on himself so that when God looks at us, he sees pure, spotless. That sin was paid for. He said, yes, Jesus, you are my Lord, you are my master. I sin no more because I love you so much, Lord. I don't want to live my life in sin. But you want to laugh and deconvert and listen to people who tell you, don't be so afraid of hell. Don't be so afraid. And then you want to end up at the great white throne judgment.
I saw this super chat come in from a new member, and it's related to this, and it kind of made me giggle. So I want to read this real quick. William Blanken, $5, thank you so much, said, if your partner thinks they're going to hell, Autumn, just let them know that they'll be able to share their time in eternal damnation with you by their side. That was just sweet, I thought. So yeah, go ahead, Autumn.
They'll be able to share eternal damnation with you by their side. And everybody laughs. This is the furthest thing you can get from a joke. Furthest. It will never be hanging out around anywhere close to a joke. This place called hell. You laugh. You think it's funny. For some reason, you think it's funny. You think that people get the joy of having companionship in hell? People who hate God and say there is no God, the only time you have companionship, the only time that you can get together and have a talk show and say whatever you want to say about God and laugh is now, while you're up here on the earth, on his earth. You think in hell you have companionship and you have somebody to talk and laugh with? Who told you that? Who told you that? That in hell you have the opportunity to laugh and talk with people. No. That is for up here. That belongs to here. And in heaven, yeah. In heaven it's even better yet. But nothing of the sort exists in hell. You think people are going to have companionship and friends and they're going to be able to say, hey, let's all go over here together. Let's all go over there together. Oh, in the pits of fire, there is nobody laughing and talking. There's nobody laughing and talking. No. You don't get that in hell. There is no joy. There's no opportunity for laughter and love and fun and fellowship here on the earth and in heaven, not in hell. Don't deceive yourself. Don't deceive yourself. It does not exist in hell. Every knee shall bow, every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, that Jesus Christ is Lord. And that means even those who spend their whole lives on the earth saying, don't be so afraid of hell. Even they will bow and say, Jesus Christ is Lord. Do it with a willing heart while you still have life. Because in the judgment, which is to come, you will still do it, but it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. I'm warning souls, I'm warning hearts, I'm praying for people. I'm trying to snatch people from those flames because I know it's real. I know he's not joking about those flames. There are many people who have seen them already. Don't be caught on the wrong side. Choose life. Choose life.